Happy Monday, KB friends. This is a really exciting week because we're going to be starting something new. This week, we're going to start learning about fairy tales, and every week, we're going to study a new and different fairy tale. We're going to be reading some of the traditional versions, and those are the versions you might know. And we're also going to be reading some very silly and very different versions to kind of compare and contrast and have fun with this unit. For our strategy lessons this month for fairy tales, we're not going to be looking at as many poems as we did before, but instead what we're going to be doing is something called Reader's Theater. In a Reader's Theater, we have some different characters, and the characters are going to be acting out the story. Each day for Reader's Theater, we're going to be picking a different character. We're going to be learning the lines of that character, learning how to read what they say, and we're also going to be practicing that character's voice. At the end of the week, we're going to be putting the play together, and you're going to be able to see a video of this Reader's Theater being acted out and being read by your teachers and friends. So we're really excited about this new activity. Today we're going to start this unit by learning the Reader's Theater for the story Little Red Riding Hood. In this story, we have 6 characters. We have the narrator, that's the person in the background telling the story. We have Little Red Riding Hood, we have the wolf, we have Grandma, we have the wolf pretending to be Grandma, and then we have the woodsman. Today we're going to read the first part of the Reader's Theater, and today we're going to focus on the character of the wolf. Before we read the whole play, we're going to work on figuring out the lines and decoding the words that the wolf says, and also practicing the wolf's voice. Let's take a look at the wolf's lines first together. We'll practice reading them a few times, and then we'll try putting the whole beginning of the play together. In this part of the play, in the beginning of the play, the wolf has 3 lines. We're going to look at each one of them on their own and practice reading them a few times. Let's look at the first one together. When I look at the first line that the wolf says in this poem, I first notice that I have quite a few popcorn words. So I'm going to underline those popcorn words for you. We have a popcorn word here, 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 and here. Next, let's take a look at the words that are not popcorn words and see if we can figure out a strategy to decode these words. When we look at this word here, this is going to be a magic E word. So we can stretch this word, but we want to stretch it with the long I sound here, and E at the end is going to say nothing. This word also has what's called a soft C. So instead of the C sound here, we're going to be using the sound that S usually makes. So go ahead and stretch that word on your own with those 3 sounds and put it back together. Let's try it together now. N-ice. Nice. This is the word nice. Very good. Now let's work on decoding this word here. This is a word that we can stretch as well, but there's a vowel team in the middle. And we have learned that when we have a vowel team, the first letter is going to do the talking. So when we stretch this word, we want to stretch it with 4 sounds using a long O sound. Go ahead and stretch this word on your own now. And let's try it all together. K-l-o-k. Cloak. A cloak is another word for the cape that Little Red Riding Hood is going to be wearing in this play. Let's try reading the wolf's first line together. What a nice cloak you have. So that's the first thing that the wolf is going to say in our poem. Let's take a look at the wolf's second line together. First, I'm going to go ahead and underline those popcorn words. Popcorn word here, 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 and here. And now we just need to focus on decoding 2 different words. When we look at this word has 3 sounds, and it is a word that you can stretch with the short vowel sound in the middle. Go ahead and stretch that on your own, and let's do it together. Big, big. This is the word big. Very good. Let's look at the next word together. This is a word that I think we should chunk in half because it has 6 sounds in it, and 6 is a little bit too tricky for stretching. So what you can do is you can stretch the beginning and then stretch the end in 2 chunks and then put it back together. So start with the beginning, stretch it out. Now do the end, stretch it out, and chunk it back together. Let's try that together too. Ass, bass, et, ket, basket, basket. Excellent. Now let's read the wolf's second line together. What a big basket you have. Excellent. So first he talks about her cloak and then about her basket. Let's take a look at the wolf's last line together. I'm going to go ahead and underline those popcorn words for you. This word here is not quite a popcorn word, but if I took an O off of it, it would be, and it's the same word with 2 O's. Let's look at decoding this word together. This word has one of those crazy vowel teams in the middle. I'm going to draw a box around it. So this middle sound is just going to be a long I. So when we go to stretch it, it's just going to have 3 sounds with a long I in the middle. Go ahead and stretch that one on your own. And let's do it together. Might, might. Very good. Now let's take a look at this word together. I'm going to give you a couple of clues. This is a word we've seen a lot last week when we studied plants. OW in this word is going to say ow, like if something hurts. And this is going to be a bossy R sound, so R is going to say nothing. So when you stretch this, you can stretch this carefully with 5 sounds. You just have to do it a little bit slowly. So go ahead and stretch that on your own. And let's try it together. Flowers. Flowers. Excellent. Let's go back and read the wolf's third line together. She might like flowers too. Excellent. Now, before we read the whole poem together, let's go back and practice our fluency with these 3 lines by using a wolf voice. When I think of the wolf in this play that we're going to be reading, I think about him having a deep, kind of scary voice because he's the not so good character in this story. So let's go back together now and we're going to read it with a deep, scary voice. What a nice cloak you have. What a big basket you have. She might like flowers too. Excellent, scary voices there. Now we're going to be reading the whole play together. I'm going to be reading the other parts that you see, and you're going to help me out with the yellow parts, the ones that the wolf is reading. You're going to know it's your turn to read when you see a star in the corner of the screen right above my head. All right, this play is called Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood carried a basket through the woods. She was bringing sweet snacks to her sick grandma. Oh no, a wolf! What a nice cloak you have. Thank you. I wear it all the time. That's why I'm called Little Red Riding Hood. What a big basket you have. It's filled with sweet snacks to help my sick grandma feel better. She might like flowers too. Oh yes, I'll just slow down to pick some flowers for Grandma. Excellent job reading the beginning of this play together today. Tomorrow we're going to be reading the middle and you'll get a chance to read the part for Little Red Riding Hood.